the depths of Chicago, live and direct, it's the Rico No Suave Show, starring Rico No Suave, with co-host Valerie Malesio, featuring special guests every Saturday. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is Rico No Suave. Ritmo.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's your boy, Rico No Suave, here on the 1-2-1-2, ready to go with each and every one of you guys. Welcome back to another great show. I am super happy to actually be here with you guys. Man, woo-wee! We are at the end of February already, mi gente. Wow, it's 26 de febrero, mi gente. And I am super happy. I'm super ecstatic to be able to actually be back with you guys alongside with, give it up for my Valerie Malesio. What's up, Valerie?
Hello. Feliz sábado, mi gente. We are so happy to be back again on Saturday. It's such a beautiful day outside.
Yes.
A little bit of snow on the ground, but you know, it feels good out there.
It feels really good, actually. Really good. I mean, I want to say that we're getting closer and closer to summertime. You know, we're getting closer and closer to summertime, and I'm super happy that we're getting closer because I think in March we spring forward, right? So yeah, I think the time clocks is going to go forward, baby. Wherever it is, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm thinking to myself, did I spring forward? I'm gonna have to
we
check
spring
all my
forward and
clocks
fall
now.
back.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just ready for barbecue season.
You and barbecue. Yeah, I know you were telling me about barbecue in the wintertime, right?
Ever since we had that conversation last week talking about barbecuing in the snow. Yeah, I think it's time we melt that snow, guys.
That's right. That's right. All right, everybody, we're going to get right into the show. We have a fun, feel-packed show for you guys today. You know, we also we do have a song that we're going to be playing towards the end. That's going to be a surprise as far as for Jasmine if she's not already hearing it. But we're going to be playing something from my man, NY Joe from New York. Joe, a little bit of shot. We're going to be playing for you guys. So glad that he actually sent that over to us. But we got to first start off with a little bit of Black history, everyone. So
here we go.
Black History Month, we are so happy to be back as far as to give you another great segment of one of my favorites in regards to Black history, where we clap our hands and we give thanks to all of the pioneers and Black African American and Black and also in brown as well too for Black History Month because hey, you know what? Without them, man, I think the inspiration that we look forward to, man, I have to tell you, I'm so happy because of my parents and also from just, you know, being able to witness Black history, you know, coming up. So here is who we're going to talk about today. Prince. Woo! Yes. So Prince was born in 1958 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I have to say the uniqueness of Prince himself as being that flamboyant, to being that hard scream type, you know, voice when you actually hear him sing is such a unique voice to be able to hear him as a singer, as a musician. But at the age of 19, my man had his first album, which is actually called Prince and also For You. And one of the things about growing up being an one of the instrumentalists, I should say, is that Prince actually came from a uniqueness of being able to play within hip hop, pop, jazz, to be able to actually have his own rock, you know, the electric guitar, and being able to actually come out with albums himself that he actually brought out under himself. But he did, right?
Right.
Also, and when he was 19, he did sign up with the Warner Brothers, right? The Warner Brothers. And when they brought him on, it was like a dream come true for him, right? And I have to say that, you know, with Prince himself, you know, he actually for the sixth time, being on the 200 score songs for 6 times in a row.
He's
Oh my God.
Prince is categorized as a musical genius.
Yes.
He plays multiple instruments. He can sit down and, basically on the drums, on the guitar.
Yes.
He plays so many instruments.
Yes.
And then on top of that, he also sings. So he could, literally, if he could clone himself,
Yes.
he could be his own band. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But he has songs
Yes.
where he's actually played the different instruments on in the recording.
That is correct.
For his own album.
For his own album.
And
yes.
then, he wrote and produced several other amazing artists out there.
Yes.
So Prince is just across the board one of the most amazing musicians that ever lived.
And as time went on in the 1980s, Purple Rain came out. Woo! And he was with the band The Revolution. The Revolution. and being a band leader, but also having to be able to work with other, man, it would have been just so cool if I knew how to play an instrument like that. It would have been so cool to actually, actually play with him, just to understand his style, because his style was unique.
And you had to live it. When he was with Revolution,
yes,
he actually, in this, you can look this up.
Yeah.
He told his band members, you are Revolution 24 hours a day.
All day.
You always have to be part of this band. You have to dress accordingly. You have to act accordingly.
That's right.
I was like, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like, that's how, he wanted that band, to be.
Yes.
He's an amazing performer. I actually had the privilege and the honor of seeing him perform.
Oh, that's a blessing.
His last concert here in Chicago.
Yes.
Thank you, Laura Garcia.
Yes.
She's his number one fan. I cannot talk about Prince and not talk about Laura.
Right.
She made sure that I hit that United Center with her to see that concert. An amazing, amazing show.
And I have to say, over time that, Prince and Purple Rain, that was one of my favorite movies. That's when he began going into acting, but also being an executive producer and also just producing these films on his own was something that you just wanted to see. The thing about Prince that I really love about him is he can take you from being super sexy, right, to actually like coming together in love, right? And I have to say his movie Purple Rain made you feel that way, where he came out with songs like Dirty Diana and you just felt like, oh my God, it's about to get crazy. And then Let's Get Crazy, where you got people in a room at the same time just feeling it out. And then I Would Die For You, right? And
everybody, anytime that song came on,
yes,
everybody, I would
die for you, right? But everybody came together. Everybody came together.
Really did.
And
Paisley Park that he had in
yes,
Minneapolis. I think it's an amusement, I don't want to say amusement park, but it's more like a museum now.
Yes.
So you can actually get tours and stuff. And when you go out there
yes,
to visit Paisley Park.
Yes.
I mean, he was such an icon and just so musically forward
yes,
in his time
yes,
that a lot of people didn't understand him.
Yes.
They didn't even know. He was so eclectic and so cerebral
yes,
when it came to his sound and the music.
Yes.
Like, people just didn't understand him. Like, I love, Chappelle got a hold of him.
Oh, of course.
So, I mean,
Pancakes.
That was... Pancakes. Let's play one-on-one. Blouses versus shirts.
And then they didn't even know that actually, Prince actually, played basketball. So Prince did play basketball during his time. So, to end this off, everybody, I love to actually say that Prince is an icon. He was also indicted into the Rock Hall of Fame as well, too. And he just actually also he just was just, man, there's so many words that I have to say. Diamonds and Pearls, just having these albums that he just came out with was just so. I was honored to be able to listen to these songs.
And to add to that,
yes,
that's why people felt so when he passed away.
Yes.
Because they literally marked history in their life with some of his music.
That's correct.
Like, when I graduated, this song came out.
Yes.
When I had my first, child, this song came out.
That's correct.
When I was in high school, this. So a lot of their milestones in their lifetime, coupled with some of the music that he came out with. So a lot of people really, really felt that heavy when he passed away, along with other artists too. But that's just a prime example of there was tears all over the world.
Oh my God.
Purple tears all over
Purple
the world.
tears. Oh, I love that. And also I love the love symbol that he actually came out with. as well was awesome. And then he came out, the artist formerly known as Prince.
Well, that was a whole issue with the label.
Yeah, I know. And when that actually happened, everybody still say, okay, we still know you as Prince.
He's so smart. He's like, just call me this.
I love it.
Just call me this. There's no sound
the love
to it,
symbol.
right?
I love
but
it, man.
It's me.
So just to end off, Prince is a humble person, is a big icon, and just to let you guys know, there's a fun fact that he actually gave film, like movies, like film, like he was a film guy, but he also gave money to like Spike Lee, She Gots to Have It, also took care of Lauryn Hill when she was actually in jail. And also he covered the funeral of Trayvon Martin, right? Yeah. And, being humble and being able to do things like this, he touched everyone's life. It doesn't matter what level you were on, he actually touched everyone's life. So, big shout out to my man Prince. Woo! Rest in peace.
That was
2016. Yes.
Great pick.
Yeah. So, in 2016, he passed away in Minnesota. So rest in peace, my man Prince.
Rest in purple paradise.
Oh, yes. I love it. I love it. So once again, everybody, that was Prince. Yes, Black History Month. All right. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to give our respect. So this is the breaking news, everyone. So Russia decided to, and I want to make sure that I'm very compassionate about things like this, because this right here should have never happened. And one of the things that really bothers me about this is that Ukraine, and we call them pueblos, but in a city called Kyiv, was hit by a rocket, and it came from Russia. It was initiated by Putin. And one of the things is that what bothers me about this is that I was talking to, and I was talking to a Marine last night, and he told me that it was all about material. It was all about money. It was all about gold. Resources. Mm-hmm. The one thing that hurts me so bad is that the aggression of what's actually happening with not being able to have an agreement between two countries to come together to be stable, for not to be able to have something like this happen. And let's go to the next one. What hurt me even more is that the aggression and all of the people that was actually saying, please stop, Russia, please stop, because we can come together as one and figure out what we need to actually figure out to make no war happen between us. And of course, we're talking about the presidency between the two countries. What bothers me about this is that one person doesn't agree with another person, and then so that person had to take a step to shoot a rocket over to try to make a point, which actually injured and killed people. So if we go to the next slide, where you see a young lady here that was actually caught in a crossfire. And the sad thing about this is what makes my heart hurt is because to be able to see people, our loved ones, no matter what color you are, and no matter what country you are, is that the U.S., as well as China, other countries, to be able to barter or to make agreements within each other, to be able to say, we're coming with an agreement. We shouldn't have to take it this far. And what hurts me the most is that I have Ukrainian friends. I'm sure you do as well, too. We do business in the U.S. as far as with people that we might even work with. But also, we also have someone that actually works for us here on the Rico No Suave show that is from the Ukraine. So my prayers goes out to the Ukrainian people, because here in the U.S., we are humble. We love everyone. We love you no matter where you come from. We love you because it's all about peace, not suffering. We're already going through a pandemic, which is going globally. And for something like this to be able to happen, the U.S., I guess, is actually trying to take some initiatives against Russia in regards to sanctions.
They're trying to. We don't know what good that's going to do now, because, I mean, they're already started.
Sure.
You know, we're trying to figure out a way to get ahead of the curve, because what it looks like is Russia's just trying to bully Ukraine.
Right.
You know, and they lose sight of that there are actually people there.
That's right.
And the humanity side is lost.
Mm-hmm.
You get upset, you push a button. Who are you upset at?
Right.
That woman did nothing to anybody. None of these people that are actually getting hurt out of this. So it's losing sight over what the details are of your actions.
Yes.
And I don't know what the answer is, but what's clear to me is this is not the answer.
This is not the answer.
This is not the answer.
Not at all.
So yes, we pray for everyone. We pray for safety. We pray for quick and fast resolution so that nobody is hurt moving forward.
Yes, and and much respect to Demetro that actually works, for the Rico No Suave show.
Hurts.
Yeah, my heart is going out to you, and hopefully that your family is actually safe. And hopefully I'll be able to get an update in regards to hopefully that his family is safe and no one is actually affected. But also for anyone that's actually my friends from the Ukraine or just people just in general, I pray for your families. I pray for safety. I pray for good health. And I pray that this war will definitely stop. So once again, everybody, we're going to take a moment of silence as we, pray for the Ukraine. Okay. All right. So now let's switch gears. So now it's time to introduce this lovely lady that's on the line with us today. I am super happy to actually bring her on my show because she's such a motivational speaker. She's a transformation strategist. She's also a book author as well, too. She came out with her book, and she's just a joy to talk to. I want you guys to put your hands together, put your hands to the sky, and say how high, because the sky is the limit. Put your hands together for none other than my girl, Jasmine Romaine. Woo! Yeah. Jasmine, what's happening?
Jasmine.
I am so good, and I'm so happy to be able to be on Rico No Suave.
Yes. So how are you doing, love? How's everything?
I am doing very, very well, very blessed. I'm one woke up this morning just with a grateful heart and to be able to see the sunrise. And here I'm in Florida, I'm based, so to have the sunshine rays, I'm just like, God, I give gratitude, and I also have compassion for those who perhaps don't have the things that I have right now. So it was just a moment of gratitude, but then a moment of still being able to be in a place of helping others with the gratitude that I give to share myself as well.
Yes. So let's get right into it, love, because it's all about motivation. This is all that motivation. So let's talk about how you got started.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one of the things that allowed me to get motivational speaker was actually a really interesting journey for myself. And it started at the age of 8. I was in a sit day type of activity that was going on for school. I remember getting into vision mode, and I was drawing on a sheet of paper. I had the USA map going on, and wasn't really an artist. I had a vision. And I remember writing that I wanted to be a motivational speaker, a radio personality, that I also wanted to be an author, and I wanted to travel to different cities like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and all these places. Girl. And I'm like, ooh, this is what I'm going to do. And I did realize in that very moment that that was almost like a prophetic word of what I would actually be doing as I became older. And so I the vision of wanting to be radio personality, Jasmine, and worked in a couple of markets in radio. And from there, I like to call it a divine reinvention. And this happened for everybody out there, right? Where we gonna do something, but then God's like, let me tell you what I'm going to do for you. And in that very moment, I remember having a sit-down moment because I was at a breaking point where I was like, God, what do I do? I'm not able to get the opportunities I'm looking for in radio. It feels like things are not going the way that I'm looking at. And I remember, and still in my voice, I heard, work and draw off your gifts. It's like, gifts, what are my gifts? And I remember just having like almost a free of everyone telling me everything that I was, and also reflecting back at that 8-year-old self of wanting to be a motivational speaker and an author. And in that very moment, I remember it was time to go to work. I started moving. I started getting things in place. And I remember having like faith of a mindset that allowed me to be able to like move into what I was today. So I started in New York City, and I started speaking to professionals and entrepreneurs on how to build their connections and how to really be able to communicate and stand out. And from there, it just kept going and going. And then I took it to Chicago, and from Chicago to Florida, and from Florida worldwide. So it's just been a beautiful reinvention, but a divine reinvention that allowed me to be where I am today.
Right. You know, I think we kind of talked about this as well, too, in regards to motivational speaking, because it's not, you know, sometimes, you know, we talk a little bit about mental awareness on the show. And we also talk, and we have people that actually have been through mental awareness issues where, you know, for yourself as a motivational speaker, you know, sometimes it's really hard to actually keep that motivation going. You know, from a standpoint of not being able to, you know, sometimes we have our bad days, right? We have our bad days where we try to keep that motivation. And I know sometimes I've had my bad days, and I know I got to go and speak in front of people. And it's all about me going into the bathroom to prepare myself and be like, okay, let's get this going. Let's get this going. Put on some DMX or something. I need to put on something to be able to get myself going. When you're ready to, like, as a motivational speaker, I mean, we're all human, right? And how do you pump yourself up when you're ready to actually get?
So one of the things that I do to be able to help me even more, to help me during the seasons, and every person goes through this. It's not like I'm different from any other person. The only thing that makes me different is the thing that I do to be able to help individuals and the gifting that I have. But when I do have moments like we all do, I learn to shift those moments of taking it from the down moments of life, but to be able to elevate it. And I'm like the up moments where I take those moments and I actually shift it into more positivity. And so that positivity for me starts with faith. That positivity starts with me actually in prayer. It helps me with the alignment with my assignment. It helps me to be able to glow and grow. And then it also helps me to be able to take what it is that I'm going through into another level, because now I have a communication with God on how I can be able to navigate my day. And then from there, what I do is I have a shift. And I also teach those who I work with how to have that shift. You have to have the communication, but then there's action that you have to do as well. Up your spirits, it gets your energy on fleek. And I love it because this actually helps me. So when you mentioned you use music, Rico no Suave uses because I too use music. And find that music that's going to put you in that element. And for me, I love 80s and 90s music. So I heard you all speaking about Prince, and I was like, I'm here for it.
Yes.
Because like the music that helps me is music that gives me vibes. I love being able to use Whitney Houston music, old school music for me helps me, but I also like
Yes.
my Latin music.
Yes.
All these music genres help me, and so you pick one that vibe. That allows you to have a different type of energy and a different
Right.
space that you operate in.
I love that. And that music will definitely do that to you,
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
It'll help shift your mood. Have you ever come across anyone that you're working with where, you know, you're supposed to be motivational, but you feel like you just can't get them motivated?
Right.
That they're just blocked?
It's really interesting you mentioned that, because my gifting, and I believe that everyone has a unique gifting, and for myself, I believe that mine is to amplify joy. And so when people come to me, that is the healing space that I operate in, that is the anointing that I operate in. And so it's almost like I am assigned to these people to help them. But there are some people who I've come across who have very low, but then after they walk away with me, they end up feeling jazzed about success. And that's the movement that I stand in. Now, everyone who comes near me is always going to be jazzed about success.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
But everybody who comes through me is going to get jazzed about success. And it could be, you know, maybe a level up from where you were, but you're not going to be at that same level. And so that's what makes me different. That's what makes me stand out, where people do come to me and they are attracted to want to be around me.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, and that's the aura that you want, right? The aura of having that great image of people wanting to be around you. The one thing about it is that, you know, they say there's good and there's evil, right? And when there's good and there's evil, you know, there are just certain things that, you know, we have to learn from our lessons of how we make that approach happen between people that may have a bad day versus to someone that's really having a good day, and we actually, you know, overextend their good day to a super day, right? And I think what happens is that, you know, during this time, even within the pandemic or things like that, I think one of the biggest things about, you know, being that motivational speaker like yourselves, you know, it's the smile, right? I always see you smile, right? Every time I see you, you're smiling, even right now. See, so and that's the good thing about when people approach you or you approach them. It's that smile. It's that connection first, right? Because then it's welcoming.
Very
exactly welcoming. So, what would you say, you know, in regards to, like, I'm sure you, of course, you're a motivational speaker. I'm sure you've spoken in front of a lot of people.
Right.
What was your biggest audience?
Woo. My biggest audience was when I had the opportunity to actually be in a virtual space. Right now, in this time that we're in, we have pivoted towards virtual. We have the show, Rico no Suave show. We have so many different elements. Remember, for my particular self, it was being in a global space during the pandemic. And I had the opportunity to speak not only to people in the U.S. and Florida, where I'm based, but people who were in Africa, people who were in South America. And for me, what that let me realize was that the world has no limits. We are literally all connected, but we all are in this together. And so when one person is in need of motivation, all people are in need of motivation. And it made me realize that, you know, you are always speaking, you're always helping people, but the same person who was in America is going through the same thing in Africa, and the same person in Africa is going through the same thing in Europe, but they're going through some things that are mindset, and it's all parallel to each other. And so when I had that opportunity, it put me on. I had the opportunity to be on stages with Les Brown and Jack Canfield, but all these different individuals have their gifting, and I'm so honored. Yes, he's awesome.
Right.
I'm so honored to be on stage with them, to speak to these individuals, even on a global platform and on a virtual setting.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I'm I'm just going to use myself as an example.
Sure.
Okay. So this morning was pretty rough for me. Okay, trying to get past the kids, out the door. You know, I left some things behind I needed to bring with me to the work today. So when you start your day, then there's so many challenges.
Yes.
With those, what advice do you give your clients? I'm not sure if you call them clients or how you reference them. What is some advice to kind of shift that day, to shift gears into making it a better day?
Absolutely. That's a good question that you asked. I call them, number one, clients, and they also call them world changers. Because
world changers. Okay. I like that.
The world changers in them just as well. So one of the things, we all have those moments. I believe even I have those moments. I believe in something like my mask. Sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot my mask. I got to run this. I got to go to the airport. But one of the biggest things that I see every person to forget is the blessing in it all. You're either going to get a blessing or you're going to get a lesson. And so I look at my as you're going to have something, but look at the benefits of it. A good delay helps stop something that was just to happen. Or maybe that delay was a benefit somehow, some way that you can't see with your natural eyes, that you can be able to move forward with. That's going to help you continue to either live more, live abundantly, or what have you. But find what that delay was instead of that frustration. Find a blessing in it. We have different lessons all the time. I was speaking with a family member earlier, and I was like, there are blessings in situations that happen. So find the blessing part instead of the down part, and we'll all be jazzed, or we'll all be able to find that light that God wants us to be able to have. Because after we have light, is what happens. Rico and Suave Gallery. Coming to you. More opportunities start coming. But if you stay in a low place, then that energy level is so low, you can't pull in those vibes that you need. But if you find the blessing in everything, you'll be able to blossom just like these flowers behind me and attract those individuals to you as well.
All right.
Love that.
Yes.
Thank you.
I like that.
So now when that happens to me in the morning, I'm going to have to take a second and think about my blessing for that minute.
Yep.
Am I allowed to still scream and yell while I'm thinking about that blessing to myself?
Right. Give me my juice box on my way out. Right. It happens. It's so weird that how life is, where things is just, it seems like sometimes life can just be a gamble in some cases, because when you wake up, you don't know what type of day it's going to actually be. And it can be sunshine outside, but you can walk outside and then it seems like everybody's just mad, right? And it just seems like everybody's just having a bad day. And I'm like, it's something in the air, man. There's something in the air. I'm like, let me get me some Lysol. Let me get me some Febreze or something like that and spray it around people. Let me go ahead and do some Cuban blessings and things. I'm like, there's just something that actually means to actually happen when
you're walking around with Palo Santo.
Palo Santo, right?
With a feather.
Bless you, my child. I'm going to the grocery store. No, go ahead, supermercado, So, a lot of it comes with a lot of, just decluttering yourself, because you feel discombobulated when you get up. And sometimes people say, oh, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm like, oh, I did, didn't I? And I'm like, okay, let me go back to bed and see if I can get up on the right side, right? So, it's so good to actually have you, Jasmine, as far as talking about the motivational pieces. I know you're a lady of faith. I know you talk about that a little bit as well. We talked about that a little bit too yesterday, actually. We talked a little bit about that in regards to that. And most of your client are women. And it's good that you also have from here and there to be able to have, a man's point of view. Talk about the energy. I know we talked about it a little bit. Talk about that energy piece that brings that you bring out in people, or you have experienced in regards to what type of energy that they bring out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the mission that God has given me. I consider myself an alpha woman. Yes. I'm also a beta. times. I like to have the beta moments and receive and different things of that nature. And when I'm working with these different women, one of my biggest things that I love being an advocate for is teaching every single woman how to be confident. And I remember when I was younger, I didn't have that confidence that I was looking for off in that confidence, and I would miss out on opportunities. And I remember telling myself I would never, ever lose out on another opportunity because I got scared, or because I had fear, or because I didn't think I was good enough. And so because of that, my advocacy of confidence and joy is speaking to these women so they can be able to be the world changer that they are. Because the woman's back, she's going to make some moves. And so that is these women out. But then I also get the brave men who want to join the journey just as well. And after joining the journey, they're getting a confidence back in them. And I may not speak like from a male to male perspective, but I can tap in on those different issues when it comes to communicating, which is what my huge mission is all about. How to amplify your voice, how to amplify your mission. And when it comes to words, what words can you use that will create those opportunities for you? So when I'm working with men, they are coming to me because maybe some of the guys who I come across, they may have different types of logical ways of looking at it, and comes with a lot of analytical ways. But I come with the practice that allows them to be able to put all what they're saying together, and it works perfectly for them to have more opportunities in corporate, or even if they're looking for entrepreneurship endeavors, but they're actually able to pull all of this together so they be confident in their world and their words as well. Because when a man's confident, guess what? When he meets a woman, they can be that power couple. They can also be able to do other things. So it works hand in hand, but all this is more is what comes to me. The energy, the anointing is what I like to call it as well, that God has given me for these people. So that when they receive and when they walk away from Jasmine, they feel the love of God through the joy that He has given me, and they feel it with themselves and how they able to distribute in the world. One thing I like to say, you all, that your mouthpiece is so powerful. The word that we speak is powerful. It's like a boomerang that comes out and it ricochets back to you on every single thing that you say. So when you're saying, oh, I don't know if I can do this, or I can't, and you're using words of the negative, we have to shift those words and say, I can. Or if we're not able to do something, to say, I'm able at the moment on how to figure that out. Because if you keep saying that and you live in that place, those words ricochet back to you and you start living that life. And I'm all about the abundance.
Hey. I have to say that, and I think that's just you overall, as far as you've always been that way, right? Because of course you've been in the dance scene and you're actually dancing. I mean, you've always had that bundle of joy, of being able to help people out. One of the things is that, and then we're going to give some shout outs real quick to some people that's tuning in to say hello to you. There is, always a great connection. One of my good friends, he's actually, he's a dance instructor, and music and dancing can bring someone together, a couple together, and just have a connection of love. And one of the things is that sometimes you need that extra oomph or that extra uplift to be able to have a way of connecting people through, a certain goal, to make them a power couple through dance, or it can actually be through finance, or it can be through whatever, right? Through great personalities of good problem solvers and things like that. But, of course, music and dancing just make someone just come together just so easily. You know what I mean?
I mean, because it sets the mood.
Yeah, right?
It'll set the mood. But to Jasmine's point, everything takes effort, and you have to still put work into it.
Yes,
for
sure.
You have to, watch your words, and it's not magical that'll create the whole relationship for you.
Sure.
But it'll present an opportunity.
It's a good stepping stone, though.
And
Yes.
through, Jasmine as a coach or a motivational speaker, I'm sure she can say, hey, learn to, work those opportunities.
Hey, Jazz, I think that, you jazzing it up to be an officiant. You know what I mean? You jazzing it up to be an officiant.
Hey, listen, when I'm speaking with world changers, one of the things that I say, like, you've helped my marriage, or you've helped me to communicate more. But communication goes hand in hand no matter where you are. On the dance floor, I told somebody when I first started, and I tell people this in sales, when I first started working as an entrepreneur, that I received one of my first sales on the dance floor and salsa dancing, but it was like at the bar, because I learned the art of communication and building relationships with people. It wasn't just a pitch, it was the relationship. And then all of a sudden I got my sale on the dance floor. And I always use that example. So you can be anywhere. You can be salsa dance floor, you can be everywhere, but you can be able to use your life, even with words, to build opportunities with you. It doesn't matter where you are. And I truly believe as we activate that, we can truly be what we're called to be, especially when it comes to amplifying our mission.
All right. I like that.
Jasmine, you mentioned a couple times over the word communication. And I feel like that was always something that people need to work on in general, right? Communication for relationships with your kids, with jobs, just relationships across the board and in dealing everyday life. With this whole situation with the pandemic, do you feel like it's more so because now we're kind of more of a virtual world and how to communicate with each other than it was before?
I think the pandemic has taught us that when you want to reach out to someone, reach out to them at that point that you're thinking about them. So it's allowed us to be more relatable, but then also more personable for individuals. So that way, because you just never know. I like to say that life is unpredictable with things that can happen. And so you just never know. So when you get that thought of somebody across your mind, you want to reach out to them immediately. Doesn't matter if it's a virtual space, whether it's a Zoom call, whether it's a WhatsApp, what have you, whatever means you have to use to reach out. Even during the pandemic, one of the fun activities that I did was have a chance to reach out to world changers all over the world through postcards. This girl right here loves a postcard. That's like my big and then to meet world changers from Iceland and Africa. We just exchanged postcards, but it was still communicating. And so the thing is, continue to communicate, continue to build relationships. And as you're building, you're communicating, you're learning more about each other. Instead of just through social media, you're actually getting deep involved with learning who they are. And as a result of, you can use your strengths, because that person's going to know something perhaps you may not, and you may know something that they may not, and you can bridge the gap together. So I'm a huge advocate for communications. I love communicating because it allows you to be able to know what's on the table, and I over-communicate. I used to work in PR, so that's my big thing. Like, how can we communicate the message to individuals, but then also build relationships that are meaningful as well?
Awesome.
I love that. So I hope everybody took notes on that. If somebody crosses your mind or you start thinking about somebody, reach out to them immediately.
Right.
Because if you don't, you're going to forget.
Right. That's true, too.
10 minutes will go by, and then you'll get a text message or your phone will ring, and you won't even remember that you thought about that person. So immediately.
It was somebody I had to call.
Right. Am I going to do something right now? Why am I holding my phone?
Right.
Let me scroll through Facebook.
All right, let's get to some shout outs. We got Violetta from Milwaukee. What's up, Violetta? How are you? Tino Malesios checking in. What's up, Tino? Theo, how are you, Papa? We got Patty Escobar checking in. DJ Don Rodrigo. He says barbecue food. Brief.
See, we're just waiting for you to
grill. I know. Everybody wants to see me cook. All right.
We're waiting for him to grill. He doesn't get a hint, Jasmine. How can I communicate with him about barbecuing?
Yeah, well, let's wait till the summertime. We'll be good. We got Judge John Allegretti checking in. He said, hello, everyone. Thank you so much.
Judge
and he also
Allegretti
gives a big shout out as far as to all of the positivity that's happening here, and also giving prayers. Thank you, Batichula, for also saying your prayers as far as for the Ukrainian. Dimitro checked in. Dimitro,
we're thinking about you,
We're thinking about you, man. Thank you so much. Yes, and of course he says thank you all for your support for my country, and he's showing nothing but love. Yes, sir. Not a problem at all. So, yes, you know, our love is all here for you and your country and people from all around the world. So thank you so much. Let's get it on. So we're at 12:47. 12:47, which is, you know, we're almost close to that time, but you know, we have that. Let's talk about the other two things that you actually do, right? You're also a book author. Let's talk about your book.
Yes, absolutely. So I have two books. My first book is Jazz Inspirations. That is a book that helped today. I wrote that book in New York City as I was having my own adventures and my own moments that I had, but I also found the good in every moment. Like, what was the good, even though I perhaps had one of those days that was not so jazzed, but I will always find the good. And so I was training my mind that even though you can have a day that was not so much the day favorite, to find the good in that. And so that's how I wrote Jazz Inspirations. My second book is a best-selling book. It's called To Profit, How to and Jazz of Your Sales. I truly believe that as world changers, that we have to understand the art of communication to allow those opportunities to come to us so that we can have that, but then also be able to bring opportunities to you, whether it's clients, whether it is corporate opportunities. Learn that art to really amplify your voice in those spaces, and your authentic self is what that's all about. So those are my books, and they're available on Amazon as well as the website as well.
Nice. When you were going through the motions of writing these books, where did you pull all your inspiration from?
Wow, it's interesting you use emotions, Valerie, because I was actually on the train while I was reading these, especially Jazz Inspirations. So I was in motion while I was dealing with the motion, and that inspired me because I knew that even though I was not in a space that I wanted to be in that very moment, I knew I needed to jazz things up. So that's why I called it Jazz Inspirations, because I wanted to be able to take those moments that I was having that were not so jazz and turn them into inspiration and teach others how to do that just as well. My second book was actually inspired because one of the biggest things that I teach my clients and world changers is how to be able to make money and monetize their message, whether they're in the entrepreneur space or whether they are in corporate, how they can be their authentic self and still be able to use their voice. For individuals to know how to do this and not just pitch, but really be able to have meaningful conversations that allow them to have opportunities. And that's how that book was able to be produced. And it was such a beautiful journey of writing that book. And as a result, that one was allowed me to have a bestseller. So very happy.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, that's awesome. So let's get to understanding what a transformation strategist is. Talk to us about that.
Absolutely. I know, like transformation strategist, what is that exactly?
Right.
One of the things is I'm a huge woman of faith. You probably could hear it all in my speaking today. I love faith. I love God. I'm obsessed with him. And I love to be able to transform on the inside out. But I believe that it takes a transformation on the inside before you can transform your world on the outside. So if you're having like sneaking skin mentality, you have to that in order to be able to receive that abundance. So what I do as a transformation strategist is I work on the inside, stories on the inside that you perhaps have never even wanted to share with people. And I transform that story into something that is captivating so that way you can learn how to be able to see you. So my work is not just communications, it's also faith, it's ministry just as well, to be able to help people so that way they can be huge lights in the world.
Oh man.
Love that.
You're basically putting a blueprint down for them. That's what you're basically doing. And you're basically
Right.
transferring them into a person that they probably don't know who they really are, you know? And that's a great strategy to actually have for not just, I mean, personal development. I really wouldn't even put that in a realm of personal development because it's more of like you getting to know yourself better. But transformation is basically having a talent that you may not even know about or something of a gift that you don't know about. And you're basically strategizing and say, hey, where did that come from? All right, we need to work on that. We need to open that up. Or there might be something that they did in their past, right? That say, hey, we got to reflect back on that as well.
Or, I mean, from what I got from that was you're teaching people how to get their voice, and then you're teaching them how to kind of also make some money,
Yeah.
you know, and make a livable income
Yeah,
on their
that's
voice
true.
if they
That's
chose
true.
to. Just on those two books.
Absolutely.
One
Absolutely. That's all
inspires
I
you,
do.
one teaches you how to make money off of it. I love that.
Hey, you gotta
Because
have
a lot of
both
people
of
do
them.
have talents that they don't feel comfortable monetizing because they feel like, okay, this is a God-given talent. Am I allowed to make money off this? You know, should I offer this for free? You know, and so I think that's where your book comes into play to kind of say, hey, it's okay to do that, to make money. You're allowed to make a living too and still help people.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and it's interesting because as I mentioned earlier, I had to get off my strums. I had that breaking point where I was like, what am I supposed to do? Things were going my way. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? And I heard that inner voice, which I believe is God saying, draw off your strums. And so that is exactly what it is. So I had to take myself through these places before I could even help others to be able to get here as well.
Right. I love that.
Nice.
Love that.
I love that. You know, there's so much involved with, you know, being to be a motivational speaker, and also now we know what a transformation strategist. I always want to say a specialist. I always want to say that too.
Well, it's kind of like
yeah,
that
I want to
because
say that too.
she's strategizing your transformation, so she takes you from A to Z. So, you know, I'd say it's a specialist.
Yeah, it's a specialist. I want to say
specialty.
Transformers. Right.
She's a transformer, y'all.
Right. You know, I got something special for you. Check this out, because I know you love salsa music. You know, we're going to play a song for you. And this guy's from New York. His name is New York Joe. And I'm so happy to actually have him. He actually came and discovered our show. And he said, man, I really love your show. He said, I'm going to actually sing you this song. And if you can go ahead and play this on your show. I said, if it's salsa, of course we will. We don't have a problem with that. I said, we will definitely dance along with that. I said, you know, the best show to be able to do this on is with Jasmine on the line with us, right? So she can be boogieing up with that little salsita, right? So check it out. So this is by NY Joe. It's called Arreglar Todo el Mundo, right? And it's a really nice song, man. I love it. It's high energy. So we're going to put actually his album cover up on this song. So I want you to be dancing in the background. I want to hear what your thoughts is afterwards, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go, everybody. This is my man, NY Joe. Let's get it on. Here we go.
Pongan atención a mi interpretación, bailando bien sabroso, canto mi guaguancó. Tienes que seguir la clave, sin nadie que te la marque, si eres bailador. Ven a bailar, ven a gozar con esta salsa que traigo yo nada más.
straighten up.
Hey, that was for you, Jasmine. Did you like that?
I loved it. I was like, where are my saucy shoes? Because it's time for me to step on here.
Oh man, well, Jasmine, it was so great to actually have you here. But I have something I'm gonna send you. So I actually have a shirt that I'm gonna actually send you, the Rico No Suave Show shirt, right? So I'm gonna send that. I'm gonna be sending that to you, right? This is definitely for you. And you know, as being part of a gem of the world, you're basically transforming the world and transforming people. You're also transforming as far as a lot of lifestyles that, you know, some people don't even understand themselves, where you're actually helping them to be a better person, a better human being. But also, you know, being a motivational speaker, to be able to speak in front of people with the joy and the happiness that you have, it makes a big difference in regards to this world. And even through the pandemic, as far as what we've been going through, you know, there's a lot that, you know, a lot of motivation that we definitely need from you to be able to continue to help build the world, and also writing more books, right?
Yes.
Also writing more books.
Well, thank you so much. Muchas gracias for the t-shirt and for just allowing me to be on this show. I've enjoyed every minute of Rico No Suave show with you and Valerie. So
Yeah.
It's been such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for having me. It's been a blessing being on your show, and thank you for all that you do and the lives that you all are to your audience and those who you serve.
Thank you, love. And we're gonna actually put up your social media real quick so people can actually find you. So people can actually find you. I know you have your Facebook, which is Jasmine Romaine. So we're gonna actually put that up there so if people want to reach out to you. And also we have your Instagram as well. So it's J_Romaine on Instagram. Is that correct?
That is so correct. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm like, I hope we have that.
Right. No, we got that right. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you. I want to make sure everybody get in contact with you. So make sure everybody, please make sure you reach out to Jasmine Romaine if you're looking for that motivation. But follow her wherever she's going, because she's taking the world to a different place, and we're so loved to be part of the journey as well.
One transformation at a time.
That's right. All right, love. Well, thank you so much for being part of the show, love. We're going to let you go, but yes, we'll keep in contact. And, you know, like always, God bless. And we'll definitely talk to you soon. Everybody give it up for Jasmine Romaine. All right. So, yes, that was Jasmine Romaine. I want to thank everybody for actually tuning in to the Rico No Suave show with my co-host Valerie Malesio today.
Hey.
Man, we actually, we're going to have a great show next week as well, too. Make sure you tune in with me and my co-host Valerie Malesio next week, as we have an upcoming actress. Her name is Michelle Vaughn. She'll be here.
Don't want to miss this one.
Big shout out to my man Troy from Creative Cypher for actually introducing her to the show. So make sure you guys tune in next week on the show. We love you guys. We love everything about you. And let's do the social media. So don't forget to check out our social media, everyone. So www.riconosuaveshow.com. Yes. Make sure you go there and check out our archives, check out our photos and all of our great stuff, as we're going to continue to change content there. And our next one is, boom, at Rico No Suave Show. Yes, that is our official account there on Instagram. So make sure you please go ahead and check us out there on Instagram. And here we go is the next one on Facebook. Yes, Rico No Suave Show. Make sure you like.
Love.
All day, every day. That's what she said. All right, so here's the next one. And YouTube, baby. Yes, Rico No Suave Show, right? Make sure YouTube live. Yes, that's what we do. And last but not least, I think this is our Mixcloud. Mixcloud.com/Rico No Suave Show. Continue to follow us there. Build a free account. And also, we got live mixes and all of that great stuff. So
get your account on Mixcloud.
Get it on, baby. Get it on. All right. So everybody, I want to thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you once again.
Enjoy
and we
your
love
weekend.
you. And also pray for the Ukraine and all of the people that's out there as we end off the show. Just like this.